I'll never forget the way she looked at me that morning. Her eyes were different. Not like a regular stray dog begging for food. This was something else, something deeper. She was asking me to see her, to really see her pain. And I almost walked away. My name is Tyler. I'm just a regular guy from Pine Valley. I work at a warehouse. I jog every morning before my shift starts. Same trail, same time. Same routine. That Tuesday started like any other day. The sun was just coming up. The air smelled like pine trees and wet grass. I had my headphones in. My mind was on work stuff, bills, normal life things. Then I saw her, a brown and white dog sitting in the middle of the trail. She wasn't moving, just sitting there, staring right at me. I slowed down, took out one earbud. "Hey girl," I said. "You lost?" She didn't bark, didn't run away. She just lifted her front paw. That's when I saw it. Blood, fresh blood dripping from her paw onto the dirt. My stomach dropped. I knelt down slowly. She watched me with those deep brown eyes, eyes that seemed to say, "Please, I need you." Her paw was cut bad. Something sharp had sliced it open. Glass maybe, or metal. The cut was deep. I looked around. No collar, no owner, no one else on the trail. Just me and her. "Okay," I whispered. "Okay, I got you." I took off my jacket, wrapped it around her paw gently. She whimpered but didn't pull away. She trusted me, a complete stranger. I carried her to my car. She was heavier than I expected, but she stayed calm in my arms, like she knew I was trying to help. I drove straight to the emergency vet on Highway 9. Dr. Hayes cleaned the wound, stitched it up, gave her antibiotics. "She's lucky you found her," Dr. Hayes said. Another hour, and this could have gotten infected bad. The dog licked my hand while the doctor worked. I named her Bella right there. I don't know why. It just felt right. I took her home that day. She became part of my life, part of my family. But that wasn't the end of it. That was just the beginning. 2 weeks later, I was at the old abandoned parking lot behind the mall. My friend Morgan needed help moving some stuff from a storage unit nearby. We were loading boxes into his truck when I heard it. A tiny sound, high-pitched, desperate. "You hear that?" I asked Morgan. "Hear what?" "And that sound, like chirping." We stopped, listened. There it was again. I followed the sound to a cracked concrete planter filled with dead weeds. And there, sitting in the middle, was the smallest bird I'd ever seen. A baby bird. Couldn't have been more than a few days old. No feathers yet, just pink skin and closed eyes. "Oh no," Morgan said. "Where's the nest?" We looked up. Nothing, no tree, no nest. Just empty sky and old light poles. The baby bird opened its mouth, made that desperate chirping sound again. It was asking for help, asking for food, asking not to die alone on that hot concrete. "What do we do?" Morgan asked. I didn't know. I'm not a bird expert, but I couldn't just leave it there. I called Casey, my neighbor. She volunteers at a wildlife center. "Don't touch it with your bare hands," she said. "Use a clean cloth. Keep it warm. Bring it to the center right now." I used my shirt, scooped up the tiny bird as gently as I could. It fit in my palm, so small, so fragile. Morgan drove us to the wildlife center. I held that baby bird the whole way, kept talking to it softly, telling it to hang on. Casey met us at the entrance. "You did the right thing," she said, taking the bird carefully. "We'll take care of him." She told me later they fed him with a tiny syringe, kept him warm, raised him until he could fly. They released him a month later. I like to think he remembers that day, remembers that humans can be kind. But the strangest moment came in October. I was hiking near Maple Creek. The leaves were turning orange and gold. The air was crisp. Perfect fall day. I heard thrashing sounds in the bushes ahead. At first I thought it was just wind, but then I heard something else. A sound like crying, but not human. I pushed through the bushes and froze. A deer, a full-grown doe, tangled in an old wire fence. Her back leg was caught, twisted up in the rusty wire. She was breathing hard, eyes wide with panic. When she saw me, she stopped thrashing. She looked right at me, and I swear, in that moment, I understood. She was asking me for help, begging me. My hands shook. I didn't know what to do. If I got too close, she could kick me, hurt me bad with those powerful legs. But if I left her, she'd die there, tangled and alone. I called Blake, another friend from my neighborhood. He grew up on a farm. He'd know what to do. "Stay calm," Blake said when he arrived 20 minutes later. "Talk to her. Let her know you're not a threat." Blake brought heavy wire cutters from his truck. I knelt down near the deer, kept my voice low and steady. "Hey girl, we're gonna help you. I promise. Just stay still, okay?" Blake cut the wire carefully, one piece at a time. The deer watched us the whole time. She didn't fight, didn't struggle. She knew we were helping. When the last wire fell away, she stood up slowly. She turned and looked at both of us.
Then she walked over to me.
Walked right up to me, close enough to touch. She pressed her nose against my chest, just for a second. Then she turned and disappeared into the woods. Blake and I stood there in silence. Did that just happen? I finally asked. Yeah, Blake said quietly. That just happened. The fourth time happened on a stormy night in November. Rain pounded against my windows. Thunder shook the house. The power went out around midnight. I was sitting in the dark when I heard scratching at my back door. Not knocking, scratching. I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight. Through the glass door I saw her. A cat, soaking wet, matted orange fur, eyes glowing in the flashlight beam. But she wasn't alone. Behind her, huddled against the door, were 4 tiny kittens. The mama cat looked up at me. Her expression was clear. My babies are cold, please. I opened the door. She didn't run inside. Instead, she picked up one kitten by the scruff of its neck, carried it inside, placed it gently on my doormat. Then she went back for the next one, and the next one, and the last one. Only when all 4 kittens were safe inside did she finally step through the door herself. I brought them towels, made a warm nest with blankets, found some leftover chicken in the fridge. The mama cat ate like she hadn't eaten in days. The kittens curled up together, safe, warm, dry. That mama cat had somehow known that I would help, that my door would open. She'd asked a human for kindness, and found it. I called Morgan the next morning. He'd been looking for a cat. He adopted the mama and one of the kittens. The other 3 went to good homes through Casey's Wildlife Center. But before they left, that mama cat did something I'll never forget. She rubbed her head against my hand, purred so loud it sounded like a little motor. Thank you, she seemed to say. Thank you for seeing us. The last moment was the one that changed everything. It was December, early morning, still dark outside. I was driving to work on the back roads near Oak Street. Trying to avoid traffic, something darted across the road ahead. I hit the brakes hard. My coffee spilled everywhere. In my headlights, I saw a fox. A red fox, beautiful, wild. But something was wrong. She was stumbling, falling, getting back up, stumbling again. I pulled over, left my hazards on. The fox collapsed in the grass beside the road. I approached slowly, carefully. She lifted her head when she saw me. Her eyes were cloudy, her breathing shallow. I'd seen this before, when I worked on a farm years ago. Poison. She'd been poisoned. Someone had put out rat poison or something similar, and she'd eaten it. She was dying. I knelt down beside her. She didn't try to run, didn't try to bite. She just looked at me. Help me, please help me. I called Dr. Hayes, explained everything. Bring her in now, she said. Right now, we might be able to save her. I wrapped the fox in my jacket. She was limp in my arms, so light. I drove like crazy to the vet clinic. Dr. Hayes was waiting at the door. They worked on that fox for 3 hours. Pumped her stomach, gave her fluids, monitored her heart rate. I sat in the waiting room the whole time. Couldn't leave. Finally, Dr. Hayes came out. She's going to make it, she said. You got her here just in time. I started crying right there in the waiting room. Just broke down. All of it hit me at once. The dog, the bird, the deer, the cat, the fox. All these animals asking humans for kindness, trusting us, believing we would help. Dr. Hayes put her hand on my shoulder. You saved her life, Tyler. They kept the fox for 2 weeks. Made sure she was strong enough to survive in the wild. When they released her, they let me come watch. Dr. Hayes opened the carrier in the woods near where I'd found her. The fox stepped out slowly, looked around, then she turned back, looked right at me. I'll never forget those eyes, clear now, bright, alive. She held my gaze for just a moment. Then she disappeared into the trees. I think about these moments a lot. 5 different animals. 5 different times they asked humans for kindness. And 5 times someone answered. I'm not special. I'm not a hero. I'm just a guy who decided to stop, to look, to care. But here's what I learned. Animals know. They can sense kindness. They can feel compassion. They ask us for help because somewhere deep down, they believe we're capable of good. They see something in us that sometimes we don't even see in ourselves. Every single one of those animals changed my life. Bella still sleeps at the foot of my bed every night. Reminds me why I stopped that morning on the trail. I visit the wildlife center sometimes, see the birds they've saved. Remember that tiny baby bird in my palm. I drive slower on back roads now, more careful. more aware. And I keep wire cutters in my truck, just in case. My back door? I leave a bowl of water outside and a little food, because you never know when someone might need it. These animals didn't have voices, couldn't say please or help me with words, but they asked anyway, with their eyes, their actions, their trust. And I'm so glad I learned to listen. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who believes in kindness, because the world needs more people who stop, who look, who care. Animals are asking us for kindness every single day. The only question is, will we answer?